Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Todd. Welcome to the Miller Method. Today we are going to be talking about why calories are the single most important thing that you should concern yourself with when you are trying to lose weight. Now, a lot of people disagree with this. A lot of people say, well, if you eat healthy food and if you make good food choices, you don't need to worry about calories. This is completely untrue. We see people who come in here all the time who are eating healthy foods. They're making good food choices. They're just eating too much. We're going to give you a couple examples of this. So let's imagine that somebody comes into the lab and says, hey Todd, I want a weight loss program. And let's say I give that person a diet. And let's say on my diet, I put them on my diet for 10 weeks. And let's say over that 10 weeks, they lose 27 pounds of weight. They have a drop in their LDL cholesterol of 20 points. Their HDL cholesterol increases 20 points. And let's say their triglycerides drop 39%. By all accounts, we would say that's a really healthy diet. That person made really good health choices or food choices, and they made really good progress over that 10 weeks. That's actual data. Those numbers are actual numbers, but not from somebody who we worked with. Those are data from a nutrition professor at Kansas State who decided that for 10 weeks he was going to eat nothing but Twinkies. So for 10 weeks, this guy ate Twinkies, Doritos, sugared cereal, Little Debbie snack cakes, just a bunch of junk food. And he ate that junk food for 10 weeks, and he ended up losing 27 pounds. Now, the trick was the guy never ate more than 1,800 calories. So he limited his caloric intake to 1,800 calories, and as a result of that, he lost 27 pounds in 10 weeks. Now, we would never recommend that somebody go out and eat a diet of Twinkies for 10 weeks. But the point remains that even though this guy made what we would consider unhealthy food choices, the guy still lost 27 pounds. And in terms of his blood lipid profiles, he actually got healthier. He improved. So it caused people, when this happened, this was back in 2010, people freaked out. They got all upset about it, saying, oh, this is irresponsible. You shouldn't do this kind of stuff. But the point remains that when you are overweight, being over fat is the thing that makes you unhealthy. And we have to rethink, well, if I make food choices that result in me losing fat weight, and as a result of that my health improves, is it really an unhealthy diet? Consider the person who comes in here who tells us they're eating avocados, almonds, chia seeds, coconut oil, olive oil, salmon. All those things we consider to be healthy, nutritious foods, but a lot of times those people come in here, they're overweight because they're eating too many calories. So ask yourself, is a diet healthy if eating that diet makes you fat? And likewise, is a diet unhealthy if eating that diet makes you lose fat? Okay, so we're asking you to sort of reconsider the way we look at food and the way we look at what a healthy food versus an unhealthy food. Now let's consider some different diets. I've written some different diets up here on the board, and these are eating strategies that people come into the lab and say, this is what I'm doing. And a lot of them are doing carb cycling. You might have heard of a low-carb diet, a paleo diet, a vegan diet, and a gluten-free diet. Now, we're not saying that those things are necessarily effective. This is just what a lot of people are doing. So consider each one of these diets. Is it possible to lose fat weight eating a diet that consists of carb cycling? Yes, it's possible. Can I lose weight by eating a low-carb diet? Yes, it's possible. Can I lose weight eating a paleo diet? Yes. Can I lose weight eating a vegan diet? Yes. Can I lose weight eating a gluten-free diet? Yes. So let's say I have 5 people who come into the lab and each one is eating one of these kinds of diets, and over 10 weeks they've all lost 10 pounds. So from that perspective, we can say that each one of these diets, they're equally effective. Well, if all of these diets resulted in these people in a 10-pound weight loss, what is the one thing that they have in common? The one thing that they have to have in common in order for any diet to be effective, it has to be able to create a calorie deficit. You have to eat fewer calories than you burn. So if all of these people lost weight using these different dieting strategies, they've all eaten less calories than they've burned over the course of that whatever period that is. So if the common denominator connecting a successful diet is always a calorie deficit, doesn't it make more sense to just track the number of calories that we're eating? Because if we're not tracking the calories we're eating, what are we really doing? If I'm eating a paleo diet with the intention of losing weight and I'm not tracking my calories, what I'm really doing is just hoping that what I'm eating is going to put me in a calorie deficit. Same goes with all these other things. I'm hoping that they're going to put me in a situation where I'm burning more calories than I eat. Well, why do we do that when we can just track the number of calories that we're eating? If calories in is really the most important thing when it comes to weight loss, isn't it easier to just count calories than to take on some eating strategy in the hopes that it's going to work? We promote calorie tracking very heavily here in the lab. When people decide, when they make their mind up, they're going to track their calories and they eat an appropriate number of calories, it works 100% of the time and 100% of the people who do it. So it makes sense to me then that we should use an app like Fat Secret, MyFitnessPal. There's a lot of these apps out here that allow you to track calories very easily, and a lot of times people say, oh, that's really a hassle, I don't want to do that. But if you think about it, if you've ever whipped out your phone and used it while you were eating, you can track your calories. We're not asking people to go remember at the end of the day everything they ate and then enter it in. What we're saying is when you eat something, put it into your phone. And when you track your calories, you get a very, very good picture of whether you're over your caloric need, whether you're under your caloric need, whatever that caloric need may be. And that can be calculated through lots of different calculators on the internet. The best way to do it is to come in and get a metabolism test. Find somewhere locally where you are, where you can find a metabolism test. But remember that, again, the single most important factor when it comes to weight loss is how many calories you're eating, not what you're eating. And any diet will be effective if you eat fewer calories than you burn, even if that diet consists of Twinkies. Thanks.